Get
Roger
started.
that.
Well, hey, everybody, it's Bob Schwartz from the Home Business Advertiser. I'm really super excited to come to you today because I've got Will Zanders, who's been a really good friend of mine for years. I met him through a gentleman named Troy Dooley. I have a magazine cover I'll be talking about later. This is Will on the cover of Home Business Advertiser. And the cover shares a little bit of the headline is that he was a struggling police officer when he first got started. And he's learned a lot of great secrets and tips that we can all learn from. And I thought we could share some of that with you today. So, Will, thank you for participating. Thank you for being on the cover of the magazine. I love you and I love your ministry.
Man, thank you so much, Bobby. I love you too, brother. It means so much to me for us to finally have a chance to work together and collaborate to impact lives. I know everything's in God's timing, and it worked out perfectly, man. So yeah, and a huge shout out to Troy, who's probably going to see this for making that connection. Troy is a super solid brother as well. A wonderful patriot, father, husband, man of God, just like yourself, man. And working with people like you and Troy has been one of my biggest blessings since I started in this industry, for sure.
Amen. Well, let me jump right in here and please forgive me if I screw up a little bit, but I'm going to share my screen and
Roger
go
that.
over to this home business advertiser. All right, Will, can you see that screen okay?
It's loading right now. Yep, I sure can, brother. I sure can. Let me turn
All
some of
right,
the
there we
volume
go.
down. There we go.
Yeah, so this is what I kind of want to show you guys. This is the May June issue of Home Business Advertiser. I never know who's going to be on the cover of the magazine, and I'll just tell you the truth. My wife and I prayed one night and said, "God, whoever you want to be on the cover, just lead us to that person." And it was one of those, um, one of those times where you don't really know what to expect. And the very next morning, uh, I went and checked my email, and there was an email from this guy, Will, and he said, "Hey, I've got some exciting stories to share with you. I think I'd like to, participate in this May June issue." So I was like, wow, God is good. He answers prayers, and he led us to be together. So
Amen.
I'm just grateful for that.
For
Um,
sure.
so Will, what I
True
wanted
story.
to
I
do,
love that story. I love that story.
it's absolutely true. It's one of those
Yeah. Oh,
things that
yeah. For sure.
reinforces my faith. So, um, and let me make this. There we go. Can you see that? Okay. Can you see the magazine? All right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Still. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Okay. So what I was going to ask you, Will, if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself, and then maybe while you're talking, I was going to flip through some of the pages, and because I know you have some success stories, not just about yourself, but about people in your group that are doing really, really well with this opportunity. And so, could you just tell us like a little bit about yourself and how you got started, and just
Yeah.
wherever you want to
For
go?
sure. Yeah. It was back in the was it maybe 2010, somewhere up in there, and I ended up starting to hear about network marketing. I was at a time in my life when I was super extra double broke, and like rolling pennies for gas broke, changing the couch broke. But I was a law enforcement officer, and I loved what I did, and was still still faith filled even back then. And I was praying for an opportunity to just make more to make ends meet. I'm sure it's a pretty common story in the industry that people are just living check to check, and that was me 100%. I loved what I do, but the money simply wasn't there. And I ended up hearing about network marketing, but unlike a lot of the readers of Home Business Advertiser, I wasn't smart enough to do any due diligence. So I didn't know that God had answered my prayer and presented some amazing opportunities in front of the time in my life when I was literally praying for opportunity, but I
Mm,
didn't know what I was looking at. So I said, no, that stuff's a pyramid scheme. No, that's probably a scam. It's when I think back, it's the funniest thing in the world for a person who was broke as I was to be telling people in my network that were six and seven and probably one or two eight-figure earners. And I'm like, nope, nope, that must be a scam. Absolutely not. So it was hilarious in hindsight. But at the time, it wasn't funny. So I want to commend all of the readers of Home Business Advertiser for actually doing due diligence on all the wonderful opportunities that are in there because they've got a lot of good ones for sure.
mhm.
So let's fast forward just a little bit. I got introduced to my first network marketing company by a gentleman who was 24 years old, and I was in my 30s at the time. And I said no the first time again. I'm a super skeptic. So I said no when he introduced me to the opportunity, but I'll never forget. He said, would it be okay if I kept you updated on my success? Because I'm going to go do this thing anyway. And at the time, he was a broke 24-year-old. I think he was doing some roofing work back then or thinking about going to the military, but he wasn't successful, but he still recruited me. And remember, I'm the broke cop, divorced, living check to check. So I
Right.
told him no, I blew it off. He goes on to become wildly successful in network marketing, wildly successful. I end up seeing him on Facebook with the BMW 7 Series. He had a new house. He's in a new relationship. He's traveling all these concerts. I just saw it and was like, that can't be the same kid. Oh, it was the same kid. So I reached out to him on Facebook and I asked him, I was very humble. I said, I may have misjudged that thing you were talking about. Is there any room left? Can I still do it? And he told me, let's get together and talk, man. It might be a good fit for you. And we ended up meeting outside of a gym around midnight in the town called Denham Springs, Louisiana, because I had just got off work super late that night. And the rest is history, to be quite frank. I learned so much over that, but that was the first company I ever got a part of, the first company I ever made six figures with. It was
Hmm.
an amazing run. And that company ended up closing because I think the owner or the management had some challenges. But I was already hooked. At that point, I was hooked. I was going to be in the industry for forever. And after that, it was just about learning how to evaluate my next company better so that I could find something a long-term home, basically.
Perfect.
Yep.
Now
That's the
I did
story.
pull up. It is an amazing story, and I love that you when I looked at the success story, the way it developed, you started instead of sharing your story so much, you were telling me stories of other people that were doing really well,
Yeah,
and I love
for
success
sure.
stories. They're so
For sure.
inspiring. Um, the power of your testimony. So if you can see the screen, I would just kind of want to
Hmm.
see if you can tell me a little bit about these people. I mean, you can um, like there's all these people here and they're successful in this business. I remember you told me about one lady. I think you told me she does like 70 or 100 push-ups every day and just these amazing
Yeah,
success
yeah.
stories.
I
Sure.
would love to. Yeah, we'll just pick one from a page and then we'll turn and because I just want to cover. Yeah, and that's one of the things I just want to preface with. It's a principle a mentor of mine taught me called pinnacle leadership, and I am rarely interested in if I was evaluating an opportunity of someone to work with, I'm rarely interested in that person's success, that person as an individual. I commend it. It's very respectable. Of course, I'd like to see that. But if I'm looking for someone to coach me or mentor me or help me, I need to know who have you personally sponsored or personally worked with that has had success? And quite frankly, who have they personally sponsored or worked with and had success? Because then I know that you have a duplicatable system. And that's what really makes this industry go. This industry is a business based on duplication more than it is innovation. And that's a tough paradigm to shift, but it makes a lot of sense. So, on that first article at the bottom corner there, Miss Charlotte Whitaker, who you mentioned. I personally sponsored her. She's a wonderful young lady. She's 70 years young, and she's very fond of saying that she's aging welderly, not elderly.
I
And
like that. That's great.
oh yeah, and she is a retired U.S. Army First Sergeant. Miss Charlotte Whitaker is, and
Oh,
she
wow.
is fascinating to work with. Her discipline's incredible. We actually were doing some three-way calls yesterday. She's passing the six-figure income with our company. I think she's going to hit that probably in like September or October. She does this extremely part-time. She
Hmm.
enjoys her grandchildren and contributing to the community. And you can talk to any 70-year-old retiree that you know anywhere. They would love to make it. I think she's at like 90 some thousand right now, but she's going to pass up 100,000 a little later this year in a month or two. But it's the point that any retiree I know would love to make extra $100,000 this year. Like I know that because
Hmm.
I talk to so many of them. So that's the value of what we have. She's absolutely wonderful, and it just goes to showcase the diversity
Hmm.
that this industry can provide of people from all ages,
I
all
saw that.
backgrounds, nationalities, and genders. So yeah, but she does 70 push-ups every day. And a quick story before we move on to someone else is that uh, we have a team meeting live and in person every 90 days. Every 90 days, 90 to 120. So every 3 or 4 months, we're going to meet together. And we had one of our ones last year in Orlando. and she was just really feeling frisky that day. And we have a lot of veterans on our team. We love our veterans. I just want to thank any veteran, I'll be under the sound of my voice, man. Thank them for their sacrifice and their service.
Yes.
And that they provided for this incredible country and the opportunities we have here. And she was just challenging all comers to a push-up contest in the parking lot, and she was taking them out, man. The guys that were there were like, "Oh, we clearly got." I was like, "Fellas, y'all just don't know." And
I
yeah,
love it.
she
That's
won.
great.
Yeah, we had the old retired football play. The whole crew was there. Probably 50, 60 people in a parking lot, and she was taking them out, taking all comers, man. So that's a great story. She's a great young lady. We actually have one of our next meetup and is going to be in Atlanta in a month or two. So looking forward to seeing her again.
Okay, super.
Yes,
And I did
sir.
flip the page. I mean, just for people, if you do want to read this interview, which I hope you do, just go to homebusinessadvertiser.com, click on the cover of the magazine, and you can just flip through this. It's just like a little flip book, and go to pages 6 and 7, 8, 9, and 10 to read these success stories. And then I want to show you the ad that Will came up with, or we came up with together, that I
We sure
really,
did.
really love. Because again, it's all about people and relationships and testimony.
A
So
hundred percent. A
yeah.
100%, man. 100%. This page has some of my favorite people on it as well. Let me just knock out two. The young lady in the upper corner there, his name is Kimberly Wilkins. And I
Okay.
love Kim because Kimberly is a married mother of five up in Canada. And I've been to Canada a couple of times, and I've had a chance to meet Kim in person. But she's one of my favorite people here because she really did this business and has made multiple $1 million in this business. She's
Mm.
done that because of her desire to provide a better life for her family.
Hmm.
She wanted to retire her husband. One of her children is a special needs, child, and such
Mm.
a blessing that she's able to be there full time with them and get them 100% of the care they need. And
I
that
love
that
that.
was something that parents with children, especially during the pandemic, whatever people's personal belief it was just a weird time. I think everybody can agree that it was a
Hmm.
very strange time globally, and parents wanted to be home with their children, a
Right.
100%, and they did not want to have to compromise their lifestyle because jobs and stuff were laying people off and things like that, or forcing people to get procedures done or shots or something to keep their jobs. Network marketers were largely immune from anything other than freedom of choice.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a great
love
point.
the freedom of choice that we have here. So yeah, so Kim's doing great. I'll see her again in October. I'll see her and her team again. And then on the other page, a gentleman named Marcus Jones, who has basically become like a brother to me over the years. This gentleman's phenomenal. Again, husband, father, wonderful man of God. One
Hmm.
of Marcus's claims to fame, and I ask him all the time because he makes more in network marketing money than he does at his full-time job. So
Mm.
we ask him repeatedly, please don't retire yet because we love telling his story. He's
Mm.
made millions and millions of dollars in the industry, all part-time. He's been with the same corporate job for like the last 20 years, give or take, and he's has a great corporate gig. But he's a personal testament that if you want to be successful in network marketing, you don't have to do what I did and retire 30 years early or be a stay-at-home parent. You can actually work your full-time job 40, 50,
Hmm.
60 hours a week and still become wildly successful as
Hmm.
long as you have a daily method of operation and you're
Hmm.
consistent with that. So his consistency is his superpower. And I love the fact that he's showing people even today that he can be you can work full time and still be
Hmm.
a full time top earner in network marketing, just doing network marketing part time. Yeah.
That's great. I love his story. I can't wait to talk to him and to meet
Oh, he's
him and
fantastic.
just
He's fantastic.
get to know
Great
him a
guy,
little
man.
bit.
Yeah, we hang out all the time. Yeah.
All right, and then wait, let me make that a little bit. Let me scooch this down. There we go. So we got this is what page is that? That's page 10. And I do want to show the app
Yeah.
too, because the power
Oh
line
yeah,
system
for
is
sure.
yeah.
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, and this one I love both of these folks so much, but I'll just talk about Stu simply because he has a very unique story. Tina, again, top earner. Tina's in the upper left hand corner. Again, super great young lady. Actually has a book coming out. We're very excited about. And give a quick plug for her. But Stu's really special to me because Stu's a gentleman who, unlike myself and a lot of other network marketers who have rags to riches stories, Stu's been a major actor in Hollywood. A lot of people say, "Man, that guy looks really familiar." People have seen him in TV shows and commercials and movies and things like that for the last better part of 20 years. And there's something happened in Hollywood the last couple of years where there was a couple of different strikes that they had. Now, Stu has a residence in LA. He has a residence in New York. He flies back and forth for auditions and things. Very wealthy, very successful. The thing that shocked me was when people of that success level want to be involved in network marketing, I had to have a conversation with him when he joined. I said, "Man, why do you want to do this? I'm just curious. I'm happy you are, but I'm just curious." And he's going on to be a six-figure earner, obviously, and he'll be a seven-figure earner too. But I had to talk to him, and he said, there are things always in Hollywood that are just a little bit different that sometimes come to light, And as a man of integrity and a man of faith who said, "Hey, I won't compromise anything ever." So some roles I don't get, even if I deserve them, and we still
Mm,
have to pay the bills. And I said, "Man, I respect that so much." And he said that there was also a situation where if you didn't, again, this is a touchy subject for a lot of people, but not me. We're network marketers. We're free to speak about faith and our beliefs, and I love the fact that you allow that in your platform. He did not want to be vaccinated or for his personal reasons, and we share that in common. And some movies told him, "Well, if you don't, get these shots and stuff, you can't do the role." And he said, "Okay, no problem. I just won't do the role." And then something else happened where there was an actor's strike because the studios were taking AI technology, which is amazing,
hmm.
but they were literally creating actors who you could not tell the difference using the actors' likenesses and not paying the actor.
Wow,
So
that
they
is not
were
cool. Yeah.
not cool at all. So a lot of the mainstream actors went on strike and they couldn't act during that time. So within the last 3 to 5 years, he said it's been the most volatile period in Hollywood ever. But because of his network marketing business, even if he didn't work another movie, he doesn't have to compromise his lifestyle ever. The bills are always paid, the family's always taken care of. And we met in person for the first time. He was already working with us, but we met in person for the first time last month in Dallas, Texas, for one of our little team meetups. And he is the real deal. But to hear people of that success level
Hmm.
and people like myself who came from living check to check, for all of us be able to come here to network marketing industry and have the success we have is magical. So God,
Yeah, I
God is
love
really
that.
it's such a blessing, such a blessing.
Right.
It takes all kinds of people, and anybody can be great here. I believe that.
And he had that reoccurring income, so he has something to fall back on. I mean, I
Oh
guess
yeah, for
ultimately,
sure, for
God's
sure,
sovereign, he takes care of us. But yeah, he had that reoccurring
every
income
time.
come in. He didn't have to
Hmm.
compromise his values or his beliefs.
And that was a big deal. That that
That's
that
good.
resonated with me in a
Now
major way.
this ad I absolutely love just from a marketing standpoint because I think this
Oh
is what
yeah.
people they want to be part of a team. That was one thing that really you mentioned to me a couple times in the beginning when we were on the phone is that Bob,
Hmm.
people want to get they want to get together. They want to have community. They want to have friends. They
Yes.
want to give hugs. Like it's not people, and maybe that was COVID too. People just got so fed up with the isolation. They're like, I look at all these people and they're doing so well in this business. Let me just read this. We build your downline with you. New global power line, 2x15 matrix. A power line system is based on first to upgrade wins, automated system, and then down here it does give the QR code and the website million-dollar-earners.com. So what are your thoughts or comments about this ad?
Matt, first off, I love that. Just from a sheer marketing standpoint, and everything I know about marketing, I learned from network marketing and reading books like that. So my
Hmm.
marketing background is not traditional in that sense. But the ad, the colors pop. Obviously, I really love it. Every picture there from the people. The reason why I think one of the ads is so great, it's very authentic insofar as those are real people, real stories. And when you know someone personally, I think there's just an energy about the ad where the person who reads it just feels, you know what, this is legit. Like this is the real deal. And then
Yep.
the verbiage that you came up with is absolutely fascinating because it's letting people know that there's an incredible opportunity right now, and we know that a lot of these opportunities are about timing. Um, and but it's not giving the fear of loss motivation where people will say, oh, I have to join, not because I really want to join this, but I'm just so scared to miss out. It's not anything threatening like that. It's just really great, honest verbiage with integrity and authenticity. I think it's very well written, and the results have been absolutely phenomenal. For anybody, just a quick plug there, for anybody who's thinking about running an ad, um, in Home Business Advertiser, and Bobby's not paying me a dime to say this. I'm just letting y'all know it is absolutely, in my opinion, the best use of your money, your advertising budget, which hopefully you have an advertising budget. There are ads available of all different price ranges in there,
Mhm.
but if you don't, you're missing out on being exposed to anywhere from. Bobby says 25,000 people. I'm going to tell you, I've seen this magazine go into the hands of so many people, and then they're giving it to people
Mhm.
who
Mhm.
aren't even in that immediate view of readership. So it's basically 30 to 35,000 people are going to see your ad. That is a fact. And as long as your company or your product or service you believe in, whatever that is, those people are going to be exposed to it properly. So yeah, I would just politely recommend anybody that's thinking about advertising, that wants leads, that is running out of people to talk to.
Mhm.
Home Business Advertiser is going to be the best bang for your buck for sure. And, and
Well,
and lastly, along that note, Bobby, forgive me for running a little long on this. It becomes an evergreen tool, a third party validation tool for you and your team that they can use. They can take that to meetings. They can take that on the plane. They can take that magazine, the hard copy or the digital version. They can
yep.
print pages of it. They can bring that hard copy magazine. One of my favorite things to do, and has always been, is to actually bring the magazine to
Mhm.
coffee shops. If I pick up somebody to pick up from the airport, I'm going to have a copy of the magazine in the car. It never fails. They're going
I
to pick
love
it up.
that.
Yeah,
You have a
I
twinkle
was
in
with,
your eye when you talk about that.
yeah, yeah. And if you've got young kids in your family, nieces and nephews and daughters, man, when they get in the car, my niece goes, this guy looks like you. She's a baby. And I said, yeah. And so we had a whole conversation about entrepreneurship as a result. So it's a great, great tool. It's evergreen. I highly recommend, even if they're not buying for the cover, which I would recommend they do. Any ad is a great place to start. And I just highly recommend that for people. It's a great
Yeah,
tool for
thank
your
you.
team.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
very much. I mean, I've been doing that for 25 years. I love the magazine. It's certainly not easy, but I enjoy it. I enjoy working with people, helping generate leads, and learning. I've learned so much from you. Every time I've talked to you, Will, I come away
Come on.
filled up. I honestly do. Like I feel filled up. Like today, this morning, I had my coffee, but I was still a little bit down. And then I talk to you and I see your face and I hear your words, and I just feel you.
Come on, man.
I love working with you. I truly do.
I love that, man. A lot of that is a reflection of my fiance, man. She's somewhere around here. You told me, man. You said, God helping you pick the right woman, man. That's one of the best decisions a man can make. And I said, you know what? I'm that resonates with me, sir. And yeah, but she always makes sure that I'm up and rolling and coffee and on time and everything. When I sick, she nursing me back to health. So,
Love it.
uh, I got to give her credit for making sure that I'm able to do my best as well, man. I know you say the same about the missus, so
Amen. Amen.
I appreciate the unsung heroes in our lives, sir.
That's right. That's right. And I've got one back here too.
I
She's the
know
light
that's
of my
right.
life. She
I
charges up
know
my
that's right.
batteries.
Come on,
Um,
come on.
so I do want to invite everybody who's listening to go to milliondollar.earners.com. Check out this website. The power line system is really, really smart. It's well done. You'll start getting emails from Will, and his training style is completely different than almost anybody's have ever. It's just there's so much truth in what he's saying, where he's not afraid to tell you the hard truths about taking responsibility, volunteering to do something that you're afraid to do because it makes you stronger. And these are the trainings that he comes up with, and it's really phenomenal. So anybody, if you haven't already gotten the Home Business Advertiser, go to homebusinessadvertiser.com. Click on the cover of Will's face there. You can flip through it online and see his website, scan the QR code on the cover. What else? What else? What else? Oh, and then if you want a hard copy, there's a little button there if you want a hard copy mailed to you. But um, What do you say, buddy? Can you wrap this up for me?
Yeah, yeah, man. I always want to wrap it up with value for the group. Anybody watching, regardless of your opportunity, homebusinessadvertiser.com is a great place to start to learn and to build your business, especially if you're in between opportunities. And just a little bit of advice: our real product in this industry is people. That's our real product. Our real product is people. Every company is going to have great products, but when you realize that our real product is people, that we build people and people build the business. When that concept really goes from your head to your heart, it's going to change the way that you do business. You're going to realize that you're doing something for people, not to people. Okay.
Mm.
Whenever you expose someone to your opportunity, you're doing something for them, even if they don't know it yet. And you can bless their lives in ways that they can't even imagine. And I think Jim Rome said, if you help enough people get what they want, you always get what you want,
Get
and
what
that
I
is
want.
100% a statement of fact. Biblical truths brought to light in personal development. I love that part about our industry. So thank you so much, Bobby. It's been a pleasure, my friend. I'm sure we'll talk again real soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
You got